Warm overalls. Quick, before Mrs. Tweed comes home. Oh, nice and warm, laundry fresh. Oh, nice. Hello, welcome to Tweedy'S Garage. On this video, we're going to be doing some little jobs around the workshop on tooling and stuff. You know, another one of Tweedy'S shorts. Yes, so there you go. So what we're going to be doing, a little improvement or sort of overhaul of an old bench grinder that I've had sitting on top of a cupboard for years and not used. Aeroplane. Yeah, and a bit of reorganisation on the milling machine. A few items moved about. I'll show you that. Little thing done on the compressor to make life easier on sort of the one of the sort of maintenance things you have to do on it, and a little improvement on the ultrasonic cleaner. Yeah, I know I started fiddling around with it already. Can't help myself. So yeah, so let's come in and have a look. So we're going to the bench first. That way. No, that way. So I finally picked up a decent wire wheel to go on the bench grinder, and it comes with some adapters to make it fit. I've got my record 8-inch grinder, which is my main grinder that I use all the time, but tucked away on top of a cupboard I've got this old 6-inch bench grinder, which this wire wheel will fit, that I don't use very much. I do use it in the garage now for sort of sharpening up my my T electrodes. Yeah, I mean, I bought this one I bought years and years and years ago when I sort of didn't know very much, didn't have a lot of money, and they were quite cheap, made by Hilka. Whether they were made in China or it was before China come on the scene, I don't know. It's never that great. Works all right, but as you can see, you know, with these wheels on, it's sort of out of balance. And yeah, the run out is truly horrific on these wheels here. About 3 or 4, about 3 mil run out on the disc. They just have sort of pressed steel washers that hold them in place. So the plan is to try and make this run a bit better, run smoother than it does now, and remove the rest for the and put the wire wheel on, and yeah, I might even give it a clean. But yeah, as you can see, when you turn it on, it's sort of rough as old doodahs really when it fires up. And there she goes, heading for the final furlong. Bench grinder in the lead. Yeah, stop that. Right, let's strip it down a bit, see what's going on. We'll use some high quality crappy spanners to work on the high quality crappy grinder. Let's take this rest off this side if we put the wire brush on this side. Good thing is with the wire brush, it has got reasonably good guards on it, with only a little window for the wires to stick out of and impale you. I'll tell you what, let's put it in a pot so we don't lose the things. Let's be organised. Okay, these screws out. Yeah, it doesn't actually say where it's made. It could be made anywhere. It hasn't got PRC printed anywhere on it. Hong Kong, Korea, Vietnam, who knows? There we go. Right. See if we... That's off. See if we get a spanner on both ends. Something's got to come undone. Hey, that's the reason we need to put them in a pot, so we can throw them all over the floor. Right, let's move that towards the back. And there we go. And another washer there. Right, there we go. The shafts don't look too bad. I mean, the machining finish is terrible. See if it vibrates when we fire it out without the wheels on. No, not too bad. Pretty good. Stop that. Oh. 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 So this is the surface that the wheel washers go back onto, and these are the washers, just pressed affairs. I shouldn't imagine they're very square, so we might turn some new ones up. They go back okay, but it's not a very good register there, it's not very sharp. I'm wondering, is it going too far to pop the motor shaft out and turn these up? Turn them down a bit, give them a clean, sharpen that edge up. What do you reckon, too much, or shall we give it a go? Let's see if it comes apart. No, let's unplug it first, and then let's see if it comes apart. Right, here we go. We'll attack one end. Mind you, the bearing grease has probably gone hard over the years. And the bearings probably aren't that great. I've got a pillar drill I'll show you one day that I rebuilt. I remember it being bought about 35, 40 years ago from a company down in Lymington, tool company, Rock or something they're called. When I took all the bearings out of there, oh, where were they from? It wasn't China. It was something like Korea or something like that. Yeah, before the Chinese invasion. But put all new bearings in it, and it runs as smooth as a watch. New bearings in the motor, new bearings in the drill shaft, and a new belt on it. Runs like a dream. There might be a silk purse in this pig's ear. Let's go and get a tappy stick. No, nothing yet. Let's keep going. Okay. In the pile. And usually these motors, they sort of oh, on the floor again. Floor 3, Tweed 0. Normally have long rods through, or long screws that hold it all together. It did on the drill motor. Let's give it a little tap either way, see what happens. Oh, there we go. Bing. Just like that. Oh, is that it? Tiny. The bearings ain't too bad actually, to be fair. I could do a bit of clean up there, it's a bit rusty. We'll give that a bit of a clean up. That'll probably clean up alright. We'll stick that on the lathe, give it a clean up. Especially that, where it's been mashed up with mole grips. Don't know who done that. Probably that Jenkins. Jenkins? Oh, what I better do is make a note of which way round it goes. This is the left hand thread this side. Left hand thread goes on left hand side. That's easy enough, isn't it? Gotcha. Bit of heating. Got one bearing stuck in there. We know which way around it goes now. So it's not really the way to do it. I've gripped it on the other end, on the area where the wheel mounts. You know, you should sort of run it between two centres and a drive dog, you know, to do it correctly. But it's a cheap grinder. I was just seeing how it ran out, but actually it's pretty good. I haven't pushed the centre in yet, and there's the centre hole running there. That's pretty damn fine. That'll do me. So I think what we'll do is we'll do the both ends. Just clean these up, clean the middle up and the threads and everything. Just machine this square, nice sharp edge on here. And we'll make some new washers up and take it from there. bit back together for now. Remembering the right hand thread goes to the right hand side. Oh, bing! Took the screws out. Yeah, that's all the way home. That's what we wanted. So as the Haynes manual says, assembly is the reversal of disassembly. So don't need to show you that. It involved a bit of hammering, a bit of light greasing, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, we're all back together. Okay, let's plug it in, see if it still works. If it makes any horrendous noises. Yeah, runs alright. Yeah, one of those bearings is a bit noisy, but they're easy to change, so we'll get a new set later on. Right, it's bench grinder rebuild part 2. Due to the excellent service of Amazon. It's next day, and I decided to replace the bearings, and they've done a deal. You could get a load of bearings, don't know how good they are, but they've got to be better than sort of 30-year-old ones. And there we go, I've got a set of 10 same size bearings for about £14. And then I've got a nylon. I've decided to make this a dedicated finishing, deburring finishing bench grinder, so I don't have to sort of change wheels around and that. So I've got one of these nylon sort of Scotch-Brite bonded wheels to go on the other side. So wire wheel on one side and this sort of finishing wheel on the other side. So let's carry on, put it back together. Made in China, only the finest. Ah, come in a nice sealed box, ready to go. 2 of those. Yep, seem alright. Yeah, no smooth or rougher than the well, that one's a bit rough. So let's go. Set that bearing in the housing. There we go. Oh, that's gone in quite nice actually. Another bearing in there. I've been persuading hammer. I'll do that one. Old man bad whistling. So that's that one home. There we go. Let's put the lid on those, keep those nice, handy for other projects. There we go. Let's do this. Sounds okay. Right, let's put the shields on, get the wheels on. Now, I was looking at the wheels. These are the original wheels that came with it. One, there's no sort of maker's name on them. And 2, I suspect the holes aren't drilled, particularly on this one, is not very square. So that's probably what that was giving the vibration. Because these are very old and because they got no maker's name on them, they're just going to be resigned to. I wasn't going to throw them away, but I'll just use them for, you know, cleaning burrs up on things and stuff like that. So, yeah, we'll make those. What's the word I'm looking for? We'll condemn them just to light facing duties. Right, shields on. Okay, put the wire wheel on this side. I think these are okay to use. I think, like I said, it's the wheel centres that were out, and they seem no different to Picador disc retainers on my Clarkson How's that doing? That's all right. Just want a stray wire, just rub it on the case inside. That's okay. We'll see how it goes. Sometimes these are unshielded, but I'd rather keep some of it hidden away, because when these fire out they can get stuck anywhere. There we go. We only need to just nip that up. So that's that one. Then we've got, as I said, this foam wheel. What I need to do though is clean these up. These are a bit rusty, this one and this one. What I need is a wire wheel that goes around quickly. Any thoughts? Hang on a minute, got an idea. Safety first. There we go, let's put the other wheel on. Right, we've got a little bit of a clearance problem. This, I mean, it'll be all right when it's running, but it's rubbing on here, and it could do with coming this way a touch, to put it more in the middle, and this wheel is too far over that way, and there's not a lot of engagement on the nut. So you know, you've got these dishwashers each side. I think if we just have a dishwasher on the outside and a flat washer on the inside, that will cure the problem. Right, to the lathe. Right, back again. A couple of washers, nylon ones. Yeah, there's not a lot of pressure going on them. They're just sort of holding the wheel, so these will be fine. Let's just deburr them. There we go. Nice bit of deburring. That's what separates us from the monkeys, apparently. Let's get that going as well. Come on, off you go, there you go. There we go. So let's try these. Right. Cool. Nice fit. So somebody engineered those. Okay, that brings that wheel into the centre of the case. That's good. One of those on the outside. And the nutty nut. Oh, what have we done with the nut? That's a special nut as well. Ah, there it is. There we go. Right, cover's back on again. Right, there we go, it's a bit better. Got a bit of wire rubbing on there, but it's the nature of the beast. There we go. There we go, 6-inch bench grinder back into use as a finishing grinder. All I've got to do now is find space on a bench somewhere for it to go. But that's a problem for another day. So my compressor's down here at the back of the workshop, out of the way, because you don't really need to get to it that much. It's sort of oilless, so you don't need to oil it. But the one thing you do need to do is bleed the water off of the air tank every now and again, and to do that I have to sort of move the welder like that, and get down here. I'll probably knock the camera, and then it's sort of down. Oh, can you see me? Oh God, it's down here. Down, you have to go all the way down here and open it like that. And it's easier now. So before you had this tiny little bleed screw on the bottom with this knurled round bit at the end that you needed to sort of reach under the tank and try and grip and twist, and climbing in amongst the welder and the bench and all the bits and bobs to get to it is nearly impossible, and then to get the pressure on your fingers to undo it is very tricky, so it sort of puts you off doing it. There was originally an O-ring round here, and then yeah, so you undo it a little bit, air gets past the O-ring, shoots down this hole and comes out this hole there, so you don't have to take the whole thing out, it just sort of bleeds off the moisture in the bottom of the tank. So what we've done is got on the lathe and turned up a new and improved. So this is the new one, so it's slightly longer, with a nice sort of knurled end to it. You only need to do it up finger tight to stop the air coming out, and to seal it up you don't need to wind it up tight. So it's purely just to make it easier to be able to get to it and undo it. And then there you go, it's got a longer hole for the water to drain out, just bleed off when you crack it open, and a sort of hole drilled all the way through at the end for the air to escape once it gets past the O-ring. Yeah, so that's one little job we've done to improve the compressor. For your information, this is a 10mm 1mm pitch thread, and so I didn't have a tap for it, so I turned this on the lathe, and I actually measured it with, hang on a minute, so yeah, so you have a little table in this end, and it gives you your pitches for your different threads. You've got your Americans this side, metric this side, and we were doing a 1mm pitch, so we needed to use the 0.025 wires because these are imperial wire sizes, 0.024. There you go, these little bleeders here, and then you got different rests for the different sizes. So here you go, yeah, it's got your sizes on it. Look, 0.024, which is the side we used, and what's the other one? Can't see through the camera. 0.018, and then different sizes on the other side. So you've just got these little slots that the wires sit in, hold them in place. So I'll set it up for you and show if you haven't seen them. So they're a bit of a fiddle. Pop this on your micrometer like so. On the anvil, take two of your wires, rest them in like so. Rest them in like that. And then you get your thread. Let's see if I can do this on camera for you. Get two of those wires sitting in the back threads, sitting in one thread each. And then you get your other wire, feed it sort of up between the middle of those two. I'll probably drop this on camera and then wind it down. Make sure it's sort of spot in the middle. Like that. See, so you're measuring between this one and those two sitting in the threads, and then that will give you your measurement. And yeah, you can take these, you can sort of add these measurements on, give you your sizes onto your what your depth of thread should be, and you know, you'll know when you get in there. Too much to explain now, but that's how you use them anyway. So what I've done was basically measured this, done about 3 measurements, and then zeroed my reading on here, and then cut the thread on the lathe and just kept measuring until I got 0 on here, and I knew I was sort of bob on. Yeah, and it worked a treat. There you go. thread wires. So a couple of things that are annoying on the mill is the WAYS lubricator is mounted on the back of the column back there, which was easy when it was in a big workshop and there was loads of space around it. Because it's tucked in a corner, I have to sort of climb underneath the bed and reach out and pull the handle to get it to lubricate the WAYS. Got to be an easier way than this. So needed to sort that out. So how we done that is we just moved it. It's just on the knee rather than on the column, and I can just reach out underneath with my arm and lift it up to set the pump going and lubricate the WAYS. Originally it was mounted, yeah, all the way back there where that mucky mark is. So yeah, you'd have to get under the bed and crawl under to lift the handle to get it to lubricate the WAYS. So of course you didn't do it every time. So now it's here, just under there. Look, I can just reach under, pull the handle up, job done. And another thing that's annoying, it's sort of useful, is this collet holder at the back of the mill on this plate that's just sort of bolted on a T-slot. It's fine most of the time, but occasionally I skim cylinder heads on here, and the trouble is you've got to take the vice off to get clearance. And the other thing is, because you're sort of moving quite a way, you always find that this corner is always blooming hitting the shield at the back there. It's getting all caught up, causing problems. So every time I do a head, not only do I have to take the vice off, I have to take this plate off, take all the collets off, go and stick them over on the bench, you know, and then put them back on again afterwards. So it's just a pain in the bum. So what we've done is, I've sort of mentioned before, my neighbour gives me some sort of U-channel galvanised steel plate that has been used for other things, so it's got random holes in it. Yeah, so I've used a piece of that up here. So we've got the arm with the digital readout on it. There's a little shelf that I made a little while ago for it. Put my glasses on, and yes, this is not for rolling up. This is for lining your cutters up when you bring them down. It's sort of like thinner than normal paper, so it gets you really, really quite accurate down onto your surface with your cutters. Old engineer's trick. And then you can have a roll up and a cigarette afterwards. Yeah, so it's a sort of this big solid arm that's mounted here. It doesn't affect the mill because it's bolted into where the anchor, the eye bolt goes for when the machine's lifted around, and then it's not used any other time. So yeah, got a bolt that's bolted in there, and then just sort of machined this plate up, drilled the holes, and then dropped a cutter down just to take it out to final dimensions, just a end mill, just to finish the holes off nicely, and then they just sort of slot in up there, out of the way, all fairly solid, and you know, easy to get to, easy to see, and then I don't have to take it off every time I use the mill for skimming cylinder heads. So yeah, another little job sorted. So the last little job I'd done was on the ultrasonic cleaner. It's got a tap mounted on the side of the unit down near the bottom for draining it. Unfortunately, it means when you drain it, you've got to drag it off of the bench, you know, towards the end of the bench to open the tap to drain it out. So what I'd done was I had a bit of tubular aluminium that I bought for another job, got loads of it left over. So I turned up a fitting to go into the tap that I could then push on a flexible hose to make it easy draining the ultrasonic cleaner into a bucket without having to move it. So that was the next job. So we bunged a bit of this in the lathe and proceeded to machine it down. And then screw cut the thread, which was a BSP, which is British Standard Pipe Thread. Yeah, and they're weird because it's the thread measured 0.825, something like that, but it's a 1/2 inch thread. So I don't know what the logic is with that, but yeah, that's imperial thread logic for you. Yeah, so it's a 1/2 inch BSP thread. So we cut that on the lathe. So here we go. So here it is, fitted in. It just has it's a tight fit for this plastic flexible conduit, and just goes on there. And then when we're not using it, we just tuck it behind the unit and knock the can on the floor. Do that every time, but then we can just pull that out like that and pop it in a bucket down there, open a tap and drain it down. So another little job just to make life easier. So there you go, a few little worthwhile jobs getting done around the workshop, and a bit of sort of you know, lathe work for you to watch and stuff like that. Yeah, so the improvement's worth doing. It's really easy to bleed down the compressor now. Don't have to grovel around on the floor. I can just reach underneath it, so that will get done every time I use it, which is a good thing. The milling machine, yeah, it's sort of being able to lubricate the ways by just sort of reaching out and pulling the handle rather than diving underneath it and banging your head on the bottom of the table is a worthwhile job. And yeah, moving that collet rack up to somewhere where you can get to it. It holds more collets, and it's just more practical. And the little plate at the end, not only did it act as a sort of little dumping ground, you know, for cutters and stuff, which is not the best place to keep them. You want to put them away. So, you know, if I've got nowhere to stick them, I've got to put them away, which is a good thing. And the other thing, not only did it hit the protector for the back of the knee of the mill, it also sometimes, if you had the knee up at a certain height or board it up, you'd catch the cutters and that underneath the shelf on the wall. So yeah, good riddance to that. We'll take that off. And yeah, just practical solution to the ultrasonic cleaner, being able to drain it down without having to move it off the bench. So that's a good job done. And now we've got a dedicated 6-inch grinder for deburring and sort of finishing up and polishing. So another good job done. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a little like, and you know, want to see more videos, subscribe. And you know, if you've only popped along to the channel recently, yeah, go back on the channel, and there's loads of stuff that might be of interest to you. Go and watch those. Yeah, yeah, give you something to do. Anyway, I'm going to pop off now and try and find some space on the bench to put this bench grinder. Builders. Yeah, right. Yeah, as I said, going to find space for this bench grinder to go on a bench somewhere. No, maybe down here. No. Jenkins, got any space down your end? No, didn't think so. Don't know. I think we have to put it in the kitchen. I think that was made in. It was before it was. Oh, I remember it being bought. I remember it. It's time. Anyway, I'm going to try and find a. Yeah, so what we're going to be doing, sort of a few improvements on the bum holes. Snug.